Today's tutorial is a metallic smoky eye. You have to excuse the redness around my eyes. I had previously filmed a tutorial with bright colours and this is the staining. The foundation I'm using is called Dual Finish by Kryolan and this is ideal for people with oil prone skin. Now the great thing about this foundation is you can apply it wet or dry. I'm applying it dry and then going over with a sponge that's damp. This is going to give a nice finish and just remove any of the powder sitting on the hairs of the skin. If you opt to moisten the foundation before use, you'll get fuller coverage. To add a little bit of colour to the face, I'm going to be using this Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzing Powder. Adding a more sun-kissed appearance to the skin is really going to complement the metallic eyeshadow that we're going to be using. For my brows, I'm keeping them relatively natural. I'm just going to fill in their natural shape and I'm using Brun by MAC. The brush I'm using is by Crown Brush and it's the C207 Sable Angle Liner. For me, this is the perfect brush for brows. Next we're going to create the eyeshadow and I'm using Illamasqua's Liquid Metal in Enrapture and I'm mixing that with Maybelline's Colour Tattoo 24-Hour Cream Eyeshadow in Timeless Black. Mixing the two together means you're going to get a really nice dark eyeshadow with a bronzy appearance just shining through, and it will stay in place because it's the tattoo eyeshadow. So I'm taking that all the way across the lid and I'm winging it out on the outer edge, and I'm also going to be taking that up on the inner corner of the eyes. I'm going to be pulling this colour out quite a bit to the outer corner, but we want it to look relatively straight along the top. So although we're pulling it out at an angle on the outer edge and we're also taking it on the inner corner of the eye, we're not taking it any higher on the centre of the eyelid, if that makes sense. So as you can see, as I'm blending it out, it's forming a nice sort of straight line across the top of the eyelid. I'm also taking that underneath the lower lashes most of the way across, and I haven't changed the brush. I've used the same one for the application and the blending because this doesn't have to be overly neat. Across the waterline we want a really nice inky black appearance, so we're using Avon's Supershock gel liner. I'm also taking that just below the waterline, right in between those lower lashes. And then on an angle brush by Real Techniques, I'm smudging that out. Be sure to take that right on that inner corner. I'm also taking the gel liner across the top lid on the outer edge, just to give it a little bit more depth, and then again blending. To add a little highlight to the eyes, I'm going to use Enrapture on a small detailer brush, just on the inner corner. I'm taking that across the tear duct area into the black and a little bit up on the inner corner of the top lid, and then use that same angle brush just to blend. Use a nice real dark black mascara. I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and I'm applying that to the top and bottom twice. On a smaller angle brush, I'm taking a little bit of the black eyeshadow we mixed earlier and I'm applying that underneath where we've applied the highlight, and then just gently smoke that out with a blending brush. To create some added darkness to the lash line, we're going to use Bobbi Brown's gel liner in Ink Black. We're concentrating on applying that on the inner corner and creating a nice black V shape. You can use any gel liner, but you want one with some staying power. For lashes, I'm using my favourites at the minute, which are Iconic and Precious by House of Lashes. As this is an evening look, I'm going back in with my bronzing powder by Too Faced and I'm just adding a bit of contour to the face. You can do this in two ways. You can either have a sun-kissed appearance, meaning you apply it to anywhere the sun would hit the high planes of your face, or you can contour with it, going around the circumference of the face, down the cheekbones, side of the nose, neck, etc. Do bear in mind this is an evening look, so you can afford to go heavier. To line my lips, I'm using Stone Pencil by MAC. We're going to be keeping the lips quite nude because we've got a heavy eye. The lipstick I'm using is by Revlon and this is Nude. This is a matte finish because we've got a metallic look on the eyes, but you can opt for a gloss or a satin finish. In keeping with the bronzy metallic appearance, we're going to add a glow to the skin, and this is Mary Lou Manizer Highlighter by The Balm. I'm applying that to the top lip to add a little glow, down the centre of the nose, across the cheekbones, brow bone and a little bit above the top of the brow. When the light reflects off your face, it will hit all the high points in the right areas and it will give you a lovely glow. So that's the look complete. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it and do leave comments because I will always try to reply. Thanks for watching!